We have a liftoff.
If you haven't already, I'd appreciate the support on Patreon as well. If you check out my podcast, OG Shadow Official Podcast, links for both of them are down below, as well as my Rumble. Check them all out. It all comes back to the channel and helps me out, so I appreciate it. Have a good one, everybody. Adios. Now, we all remember the massacre last week of the 17 people in San Jose de Gracia, Michoacan, where El Pelon was the target of Manchos Sicarios. Now, what's interesting, we're about to get into a video where you can actually see somebody by the name of Chepe, who is brother of El Viejon, that was assassinated by El Pelon, which is interesting to know. Now, in the video that we're looking at, we can also see sicarios of Cartel Jalisco shooting up in the air during the burial of Chepe. He was buried at the Municipal Pantheon, which is like graveyard, in San Jose de Gracia. Now, one of the people at this funeral is interesting, is the mayor. Now, he's in the video taking pictures with the sicarios, and this is what came into the Fiscalia or the Attorney General's hands. Now, they're looking at it right now and analyzing it. We'll see what comes out of this. I'm sure they have to analyze it for lots of reasons, but I'm sure they want to know who filmed it and where it was uploaded from too. I'm sure they're interested if it came from another group of organized crime as well, just to know. Now, this came up under the alias, the Municipal President Liar, and it was uploaded um, under the Facebook in the locality of said San Jose Garcia. Now, a lot of people have seen it, and a lot of people in this area have actually started dedicating to kind of fighting back in their own way against organized crime. They realized the whole armed movement wasn't as effective because it always gets infiltrated by the government or by the armed groups, which always turns up into the same corruption. It's really irrelevant. It's the same thing over and over. Now they've started to film them like on a large scale. And if you ask me, um, of course, the only way to really defeat organized crime is to legalized, but exposing them on a large scale through video definitely does them damage, big time. It's a lot harder for them to operate if every window in every city could be filming them. If you think about it, they don't want to be filmed because they only pay off certain members of the government. It's very rare to see them pay off every member of every government, not because they can't, but because there's usually another mafia and they're paying off certain members of certain government to buy them over, right? And usually, for example, the Marines would work for one group, or the Army would work for one group, and the federal police and the state police will work for the other. If that puts it into perspective for you. Now, there's actually been a lot of videos that came up around this original event. I remember there's the original one I put up on my Rumble. There was another one of them loading up bodies like cattle, just stacking them on top of one another. And then there was another one of them washing up the blood with hoses out in the middle of the street. Now, there was no response from the municipal authorities as far as going after the sicarios. That's why they were able to sit there and clean up the blood in the street and sweep it up and wash it up. Now, they actually deny that he actually denies that he was there, which is kind of funny. Uh, Adrian Lopez Solis is the actual person and head of the Fiscalia, and he said that the crime scene had been alterated, which is interesting too. But that's obvious. They were cleaning it up, scrubbing it away. Everyone knows that. But at least he admitted that it was alterated. That's at least something. On a positive note, you gotta say something positive, right? Now, 6 police officers that were municipal actually did end up coming to the spot later, but they said there was too many sicarios and they were way outnumbered, and out armed, like their armaments were a lot heavier, and that there was nothing they could do. So that is the only response that was noted. Was six municipal police officers decided to go down and see what was going on, but they decided not to do anything. Now, there's been an investigation against the mayor's office that's been opened up, of course, and they're trying to also identify the sicarios involved in this attack. But we know Cartel Jalisco pays off a good amount of authorities in this area and every area of the work. So any investigation is going to get a wrench hit thrown into it at a certain level. Someone's going to mess it up. Um, it's very odd for an entire department to have everyone on one side's payroll, even though a lot of time they are on one side, but I mean exclusively on one side. Like they could be working for one side and accepting that check, but they're like a double agent accepting another side. And it's extremely common for that. People are greedy. A lot of times they're a paycheck from the government. The paycheck from organized crime isn't enough. They want another paycheck from another group of organized crime. And it's never enough, really. But here to start with, the bribes that they pay you from corruption and their municipal salary and so on and so forth really isn't anything. It's like $500 a month in municipal salary. I'm just giving you guys an estimate. Probably another $300-400 a month to bribe if they're lucky. So we're not talking about big luxurious amounts of money either here. We're talking about enough money to maybe live comfortably and have groceries and pay your bills and stuff, right? This isn't big high roller time. Now, this investigation could definitely bring something up. It's not uncommon for politicians to get taken down as far as out of office, but as far as a criminal investigation, like in that aspect of it happening, that almost never happens. You almost never see politicians here in Mexico, or so much anywhere, if you want the truth, being criminally prosecuted to any aspect. They always find a way to wiggle out of it, as you all well know. I'm not saying anything that's not well known. It just a lot of people don't say it. It's not true. Um, they always say it's the other political party, the one they don't belong to, right? Now, please smash on that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, let guys know what you think about this crazy world we live in. Indeed, uh, when the video comes out of the mayor, at the rival people's funerals, and you kind of understand why this massacre was allowed to happen, right? Adios, amigos.